Unforgettable, that's what you are. That's why, darling, it's incredible that someone so unforgettable thinks that I am unforgettable too.
Welcome to our Regent virtual event. I'm Janet Anderson with Pavlus Travel, and thank you for being here. Whether you're a loyal Regent guest who already knows the magic of sailing with them, or you're exploring Regent for the very first time, we are so glad you made the time to join us today. We planned this event around an upcoming launch so you hear firsthand what's coming. For today's event, we listened carefully to what you asked to include beyond the launch details. We've built the whole program around exactly that. A quick agenda. Michael Steidel, our very own Vice President of Marketing, will kick us off by sharing the exciting partnership between Pavlus and Regent. Then we'll welcome Jared Evans, Vice President of Sales for Regent. Jared will walk you through what truly sets Regent apart and give you an overview of the Regent fleet. Then you'll meet Janice Davidson, Chief Brand Officer at Regent, who will take us through their fleet modernization and then a stunning look at the Prestige, Regent's newest ship launching in December of this year. And we'll close with dedicating time to that sneak peek into the 2028-2029 voyage collection opening for sale this month, including details on how to pre-register for these brand new itineraries. Before we begin the presentation, a few housekeeping items, and thank you for listening to these each and every virtual event. Your audio is muted and your cameras are off during the presentation, so sit back and enjoy. If for any reason your audio or visual does not work, please try logging back and back on again. This generally resolves the issue. We will have time for your questions toward the end of the presentation. Please write them in the Q&A box. In addition, we have a Regent team member working behind the scenes to answer your questions as they come in. If we don't reach all the questions today, we will have your Pavlus Travel Planner reach out to you. Ed, look for a copy of the full presentation and the exclusive event special in your inbox by end of day tomorrow, May 14th. Well, we say, luxury is time well spent, so let's start our event. It is my genuine pleasure to introduce a colleague and friend, Michael Steidel, who is celebrating his 15th year at Pavlus Travel. Welcome, Michael.
Well, a very good afternoon, Janet. Thank you for that introduction. My name is Michael Steidel. I'm the Vice President of Marketing at Pavlus Travel, and we are so glad that you're here to join us today as we get an in-depth update from two very important figures at Regent. There are some exciting updates and a lot going on at Regent, so you couldn't have picked a better webinar to join. We have a phenomenal relationship with Regent, and our business has boomed as a result. We are now one of the world's largest sellers of Regent Cruises, and it's because of number one, your loyalty to Pavlus Travel, booking your Regent Cruises with us, and certainly the support that we get from Regent as well, and the product that they deliver. If you're looking for an all-inclusive cruise, if you're looking for a fantastic opportunity to travel on Regent, then today's the day, and take a look at some really incredible offers, some really incredible sailings and itineraries as we look into the future of Regent, and we're so excited to have you today. For those of you that haven't worked with Pavlus before, there is incredible value to using a travel advisor at Pavlus, and I'll get into that a little bit closer toward the end of the webinar. But for now, I really want to focus on what's happening at Regent. And so today, I'm honored to have Jared and Janice with us because they're going to take us through everything. Why consider Regent? What's going on with their new fleet, not just new builds, but also the incredible effort that they've put into revolutionizing and reconfiguring their existing hardware as well. And I have to say, and some of you that are on this webinar have already traveled on Mariner, they did an incredible job bringing that ship to life and really considering all of the little things, the big things, and really making that a comfortable and up-to-date experience, right? Whether you're going on a ship that's on the older side or one of their new builds, that experience shouldn't change, and Regent is investing the money to make sure that that is the case. So, without further ado, without further delay, there's a lot to get through. So, Jared's going to kick us off. And Jared, thank you so much for being with us today. The floor is yours.
Oh, thank you, Michael. Really appreciate that. And again, it's such a great time to be here with you all, and of course, the customers out there. We really can't thank you enough for your valuable support and partnership over the years. It's been tremendous. As we continue. Oddly enough, we're celebrating our 35th anniversary this year, so we have a nice little milestone ahead. And you all have been a big part of that at Pavlus Travel, and as have you, to those customers out there. And for those that are new, I would like to always start off with, what really sets Regent apart from any of the other luxury cruise experiences out there. The simple answer is, of course, that we include more than everyone. But at the heart of it, and really kind of looking at what Regent Seven Seas is and what that most inclusive luxury experience looks like, it's broken down into 4 pillars. And we'll kind of touch on each of these throughout the entire presentation. But number one is that immersive exploration. And immersive exploration can go many different ways. It's the size of the ships, the destinations, the ports of call, the boutique niche ports of call, and then, of course, coupled with our free unlimited shore excursion program, which I'll touch on momentarily. But that really is the core right there when we talk about immersive exploration. Heartfelt hospitality, hands down, it's the staff on board our ships. The moment you step foot on board our ships, you're greeted with that white glove service. You're treated like you're at your home away from home, whether it's your first time being on board or whether it's your 15th time on board. You're treated the same exact way. And our team does an incredible job to make you feel that you are at your home away from home. Space, we talk about space. Again, it's everything that you have in your home. We want to make you feel like you have on board. So we provide more space in that space to guest ratio component that people talk about, right? So all suites, 97% balcony. Just the Seven Seas Navigator is the only little ship that does not have 100% balconies. Marble appointed bathrooms, walk-in closets, and plenty of space, bars, lounges, all throughout the entire ship. And we'll touch a little bit on that momentarily as well. And I know Janice later on in her presentation, she'll actually talk about the size and the space specific to Seven Seas Prestige and where we're elevating our brand and continuing to move forward. And with any great cruise, of course, the cuisine. So Epicurean Perfection is our 4th brand pillar that we have out there that we're delivering on, providing, up to now soon to be 4 specialty restaurants across our fleet once Seven Seas Prestige is introduced. More Epicurean enrichment programs, Epicurean type culinary shoreside experiences, and then all the fabulous dining and the new pizzeria that we have upcoming, which Janice will touch on for Mariner and Voyager on their recent or upcoming refurbs. Now, let's talk about and break down next level all-inclusive and go a little bit more in depth on this. So when we talk about unlimited shore excursions, right, there's any given number of excursions free or complimentary that are included on any of your itineraries. Additional to that, we have what we call our Regent Choice excursions. Those Regent Choice excursions are going to be more of your private, intimate type tours. So in Alaska, for example, the easiest way to say it is, a float plane or a helicopter landing on a glacier. Any of those next level type experiences, there is a nominal fee associated with those. Our friends at Pavlus Travel, of course, come with a lot of shipboard credits and robust offerings, which allow you to use those credits for those Regent Choice type excursions. Again, providing that additional value by booking through them, but also giving you that next level, more intimate type personalized experience. Also, another concept that we introduced is what we call our small group tours. And the small group tours may be similar to a standard free shore excursion offering. However, it's going to be 16 guests or less in the Sprinter, like minivan type transportation. So you have your designated guide, but in a much smaller group. So it's that more intimate experience. So what you feel on board, you also feel ashore. when we talk about just the general excursions themselves and, those bus type transfers, right? We do not fill up to the capacity for any of those motor coaches. So it's probably 70-80% capacity. And then we obtain another motor coach. So it is still that intimate experience that you're having on board our ships ashore. But that next level small group experience really gets you that more in-depth, intimate experience when touring. Now, there's a little nominal fee for those as well. And then we also have, go local tours. We have culinary type excursions that are additional as well. And that's really that immersive exploration pillar that we talked about. Just having that shoreside experience, whether it's pre or post land packages, overland packages, or through the shore excursion program, really allowing you to immerse yourself in these incredible destinations that we're taking you to. So that being included, plus the next level that obviously can be used with shipboard credits, is one of the biggest, strongest pillars in our inclusive brand messaging. Next, some for more for others, is the unlimited drinks, premium wines and spirits included throughout. I know some brands out there do with, lunch or dinner, and there's certain restrictions on the levels, but ours is all premium inclusions as well. So fantastic. And another high ticket item for some, and those that don't drink, right? It's the specialty coffees, it's milkshakes, soda, bottled water, all of that ends up costing a fee at some point on some of the other cruise lines. However, we keep it, all inclusive and hassle free and worry free, and truly what cruising's meant to be. You can see obviously the plethora of continued all inclusive amenities there. We won't go through every single one of them, but as you know, the specialty dining being included, there's a cost associated with that. One of my favorites, and probably the fan favorite on board the ship, is the valet laundry service. Truly a nice addition and inclusion. If you haven't tried it or haven't been on board, it's fantastic. You walk on board the ship, unpack all your clothes, whatever's wrinkled from your travels, just hand it over to your stewardess or butler, and then we will press that complimentary for you. And then throughout your cruise, of course, any laundry items that you may have, we'll serve that up for you as well. The butler service is included in the penthouse suites and above, just like to always call that out. And the one inclusion that most forget about is the unlimited access to the spa facilities. So whether you're doing a treatment, whether it's a massage, a facial, nails, hair, whatever it is, you still have access to the entire facility. So you have access to the sauna, the steam room, the ice shower. There's so many different variations, and the pool access that we have on some of our ships in that spa area. So a lot to really do there, and a lot to go into with this full comprehensive inclusiveness. When we talk about the fleet itself, I briefly mentioned Mariner and Voyager and Prestige respectively. I won't steal Janice's thunder coming up behind me, and she'll kind of touch a little bit on it, but just calling out our fleet overall, right? We will soon have 7 ships in the fleet. Seven Seas Prestige will be the newest one, joining us at the end of this year when we take delivery of her, and she will begin sailing, of course, next year. But as you can see here, the Explorer class ships, Explorer was launched in 2016 to Seven Seas Grandeur. And it's about every 3 years is kind of the cadence that we're on in terms of new builds. We've also announced 3 more Prestige class ships behind Seven Seas Prestige. So again, it's the demand for ultra luxury travel. And again, what we're delivering in terms of size, space, service, exceptional cuisine, just hitting it on every benchmark. So as you can see here, our ships currently range from guests from 496 to 822 guests. It's really our sweet spot. And as I mentioned previously, with the size of the suites. So just to put it into perspective, what we're doing with Seven Seas Prestige, that entry level suite is going to be much larger than what we have currently on the Explorer class ships, because that is something that we hear from our travel partners and our longtime past guests, having that additional space. So we hear you, and we're going to deliver that when we deliver Seven Seas Prestige. And just to go into a little bit more and obviously showcase and highlight some of these suite accommodations throughout those ships, Janice Davidson, our Chief Brand Officer, is here today with me as a special guest to take you through all of that. And the first item that she's going to go into, of course, is our Seven Seas Mariner and Seven Seas Voyager refurbishments. Mariner was completed towards the end of last year. Voyager is currently in her dry dock. I'm fortunate to make a trip out to Barcelona here in the next week or so to be able to go ahead and see her firsthand before she receives guests for her first upcoming sailing on May 21st. So super excited. And without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Janice to speak directly to each of those items. So thank you. I'll be back later.
Well, thank you so much, Jared, and thank you everybody for having me today and joining me on this exciting trip through some of our fleet modernization. My name is Janice Davidson, and I'm the Chief Brand Officer here at Regent Seven Seas Cruises. I have been with Regent for about 15 years now, and I always do tell everyone I have the best job in the world. It's truly a remarkable product, and I'm very excited to showcase for you today and walk you through some of our exciting updates that are happening. Fleet modernization. So Seven Seas Mariner, for those of you, if you've ever been lucky enough to sail in the Seven Seas Mariner, I can tell you that she is one of my favorite ships. The layout of that vessel, the flow, the large coffee connection. There's a beautiful long hallway outside of Coffee Connection where guests can sit, and it's a very social sort of ship. She was just refurbished, fully refurbished, as you can see by some of the images here, just before she began her world cruise this January. The world cruisers are on board. We've heard nothing but really positive things from all of the guests. I had the pleasure of sailing with them for a short time in early January and got the full understanding, got some feedback on the suite redesigns. For the most part, I mean, honestly, for the most part, everyone is ecstatic about the updates that we've made, which includes full marble bathrooms, closets that are, more purposely built for extended travel, more drawers, which is always for me a bonus. What you see on the slide right here is our signature suite. So this is our 1,200 square foot suite, can go up to 2,000 square foot when you get the forward suites, excuse me, with a 700 square foot balcony. These suites are 2-bedroom, 2.5 bath. The guests get, guaranteed dining reservations each evening, priority boarding access. And as you can tell these are actual photos post dry dock, completely reimagined. Again, soft palettes, well thought through in terms of space. The space in the signature suite is wonderful. On the next slide, this one has 2 bedrooms. That's why you see 2 bedrooms. I'll move forward to the next room, the grand suite. You can see in this one an idea of what these bathrooms look like. And I know bathrooms aren't necessarily the reason people book travel, but they're really important to your purchase decision. I know for one, I'm always looking at, if I'm going to book a hotel, I always want to see a photo of the bathroom. These bathrooms are beautiful. This is in their grand suite, which is a one bedroom, full living room, 1.5 bath. Just double checking to make sure, because it might be, yes, it is 1.5 bath. Just wanted to confirm. Again, the flow on these suites, ample amount of space. You've got the in-suite minibar as always. Obviously, you all know our suites are all inclusive. So the in-suite minibar always stocked with your preferences, welcome champagne when you arrive. But beautiful bedroom. Down here, you'll see at the foot of the bed, there is the built-in television. So if you don't want to watch TV, you get the beautiful view forward-facing. It's a forward-facing suite. If you do want to watch television, it's unobstructed. You just have a remote. You raise it up, raise it down. Closets are fantastic as well. I'm just going to give you a few examples of Mariner refurbishment. We won't go through every suite, but this is the penthouse suite. And I will tell you, it's probably one of my personal favorites across all of our fleet, new ship classes included. The space that you get in this Mariner Penthouse Suite A is fantastic. It's just open. Look at all that natural light coming in, beautiful balcony. You've got the, full desk, mini bar, a lovely L-seat sofa. And again, the bathrooms have been completely refurbished, beautiful marbles, excellent details, thoughtful for me. Design should be thoughtful and helpful. So things like where are the towel bars placed? These are the things that we look at and really resonate. Nothing makes me crazier than when you go to a hotel and you get out of the shower and the towel hook is across the room, right? This is an example of our concierge suite. So this would be concierge and deluxe veranda are very similar in terms of size on Seven Seas Mariner, but beautifully redone, really elevating this vessel to the level of our Explorer class ships, using the same interior design firms, same treatments, similar color palettes, tones. The walk-in closets, again, as I mentioned, more drawers, more space, ample hangers for all of your belongings. I am going to transition to talk about something that's new within Mariner and will be on Voyager. And then this pool grill concept is floating out to all of our vessels. So pool deck was redone on Mariner when she was in dry dock. It's beautiful. The Mariner has a really expansive pool deck. What's really fantastic, and I can attest to it myself, is our new pizza, which sounds very simple when you talk about the world of fine cuisine, but pizza and the opportunity to have an easy, um, casual dinner in the evenings is really important, especially on, port days, such as when you go to Florence or even Rome. And so long days ashore. Sometimes, oftentimes, guests come back, and while all of our dining is fantastic, you just want to have a quick bite and maybe relax and get ready for the next day. The pool grill, the new pizzeria at the pool grill is top notch. We have engaged the help of master pizza chef. Yes, there is such a thing. His name is Luigi Garofali. He's from Puglia, whereas some of you might know our SVP of operations, now our Chief Experience Officer, Franco Semeraro, is from Puglia. Now, Chef Luigi, he is, again, a pizza master. He studied pizza. He's been praised. He created the Association of Qualified Pizza Makers in 2014. He's been award-winning. There's interesting flavors, interesting textures, and I can tell you it was, I think, the best pizza I've ever had in my life. And, who's not a pizza connoisseur these days? So this is a very exciting option for our guests. Also exciting and new for Mariner, for Seven Seas Mariner, and will be for Seven Seas Voyager, which we'll talk about in a second, is our new Epicurean Enrichment Studio. Now, on our Explorer class ships, as you know, Chef Kelly and her team of exceptional chef instructors have really built a program of learning and evolving through the places you travel by understanding the cuisines and the flavors of the region. This is not a hands-on cooking school, as you can see by the rendering. It's more of an enrichment studio. She's built a program that we call our Passport series. So each place you travel, and this is a great example of what's happening on Seven Seas Mariner right now as she wraps up her world cruise, is each new region that we travel to, she's put together a great introductory Passport series where you learn about the spices, what's unique in that area of world. Take Hawaii, for example. What are the flavors? What are those flavors driven by? What is the, regional typography? What do they grow? How did those flavors and new influences come in over time? And then really educating the guests as to what you should try when you're off in port, what you should taste, what you should go look for, what you should buy to bring home that's unique that you maybe is hard to get the original there. They did a Mai Tai. They also do mixology classes. So you can see we kept the bar. Now, again, if you've ever been on Seven Seas Mariner or remember her from the past, this was the former Stars Lounge. So there is a bar there, which we did keep, because mixology classes are also really fun to do in this space. We did a Hawaiian Mai Tai when I was there, and I learned how to craft it properly. This will be again on Seven Seas Voyager as well. And I'm going to show you a little bit about Seven Seas Voyager next. Again, she is also going through a very extensive dry dock as we speak. And I'm going to show you some pictures, which are really interesting. So this is happening right now. Today, this is what Seven Seas Voyager looks like, which is a little glimpse into a full dry dock and what happens, down to removing walls, removing carpet. And when she's finished, she will have the exact same beautiful suites that Seven Seas Mariner has. She will have a new coffee connection. That's what you see in this image to the far left of your screen. In the center, I believe, is observation. Oh, that's Prime 7. I'm sorry, Prime 7. Fantastic steakhouse. And to the right is the far right is the observation lounge. All the suites are being done, marble bathrooms throughout. Again, Voyager and Mariner are going to be, they are now almost done and complete, right up to par with our Explorer class ships, which we're really proud of. And the ships are special. Each ship has a different flow and a different personality, and Mariner and Voyager are really special to our fleet. So we're really happy to announce. Stay tuned for new pictures as soon as dry dock is complete. And now we're going to switch gears. I'm going to switch gears to our next really exciting adventure that we're taking on as a brand, but Seven Seas Prestige. So for us, this is incredibly exciting anytime you have a new class of ship, and Prestige is going to be all that and more. When we launched Seven Seas Explorer back in 2016, and then her sister ships Splendor and Grandeur, they were all very similar in nature. But now with Seven Seas Prestige, she's set to really take us to a next evolution for our brand. She is 40% larger space-wise and size-wise, with only 10% more guests. So when you think about that space to guest ratio within the industry as well, this is phenomenal. I always say that there's something for everyone on our ships. There's spaces for as busy and as engaged as you want to be, out and about and social, and then there's spaces for quiet, relaxing moments. You're always going to be able to find a pocket where you can sit and relax, where a guest can sit and relax. Also exciting for Prestige to point out, right? We'll be she'll have her 7 specialty dining venues with 2 new dining concepts, which we'll talk about in a few minutes. 12 suite categories, 4 of which are brand new, and really excited to showcase these for you. And of course, all with private balconies. The Skyview Regent Suite, that's what we're going to start with. Well, when we talk about suites, it is unbelievable. I'm really excited to show it to you. But first, let's talk about what our guests will see when they first walk on board, and that is the beautiful Starlight Atrium. This is embodying that blend of, old world meets sophistication, new era sophistication. It's quality craftsmanship, and all of it will be illuminated, which we'll see on this next slide, by a beautiful glass enclosed atrium. So we call this the Starlight Atrium for good reason. So during the day, you'll have the sun and the stars floating through and gracefully leading you all the way up to deck 11, where the glass enclosed skylight will let in the natural light and the sun and the stars as well. And this ship for me, Seven Seas Prestige, is really about connecting with the sun, the stars, the sky, the ocean. That's why our guests choose to sail as opposed to fly someplace. It's really this beautiful romantic style of travel, slow travel, I call it, and you'll see as we talk about Prestige, there's so many places where natural light and the outdoors come inside this vessel in really unique and beautiful ways. So exciting to talk about too, this grand staircase here in the atrium. This will be what you'll learn more about this in the upcoming months, but this is all hand-blown glass crystals. It's really a living chandelier of light. It's going to have, we're building a ritual around this every evening for guests. Think about, sort of before dinner, something really elegant to see. And the staircase kind of comes alive with this light as it cascades and falls and mimics the stars in the evening. It's really going to be special. Let's see what's not moving here. There we go. In the atrium on deck 4, now again, this vessel, the flow is a little bit different. In the atrium on deck 4, So right behind this bar here, if you look towards the back, you see some photos on the walls. That's sort of our entry rotunda. So that's the two locations, depending on where we're docked, that guests would enter and exit the ship from. And you walk straight into this large, beautiful atrium area. Galileo's bar is new for us. It's out here in the center, and this space will really serve as a hub for evening nightlife, for daytime before you go ashore. How nice it will be if you come back and you're right there at the bar and you can grab a glass of champagne as before you walk up to your suite, if that's what you choose to do. It's definitely kind of this bright star hub, and you can see the casino off on one side, which is an open air casino, and on the other side you'll have the Prestige Lounge, which is where we have music in the evening, similar to Explorer and Splendor lounges. Now, one deck up on deck 5, you'll have beautiful floor-to-ceiling glazed windows, so a lot more light. The space pushes all the way out to the edge of the ship, so this atrium deck 5 space really expands, and guests have, I think this is going to be a fantastic place for guests to just sit, unwind, socialize. The coffee connection is right down the hall. You'll have beautiful concierge, reception desk, destination services, all the guest services that you expect. It's definitely going to become sort of a hub of activity. Oh, and sorry, I backtracked for a moment. You're definitely going to have impressive art pieces within this space, so more to come on that. But as we like to say, a ship isn't finished until we put the cherry on top, and that's with our stunning art collection. Really quickly, casino and the Prestige Lounge, which we just talked about. You've got the casino, the Prestige Lounge. You can see beautiful character, beautiful space. Obviously, the design is there. Meridian Lounge, which we have on all of our ships. This is the new Meridian Lounge for Prestige. This nod to the romance of travel and, discovery. A beautiful space. You'll have evening entertainments. The new shows that the team are working on are really exciting. Something very new for our vessels. Coffee connection. I'm sharing this rendering because I think it's stunning, right? It reminds me of kind of a bustling coffee house in Paris, as sort of the inspiration for this space. Again, beautiful views, because that's what the ship is about, views and connecting with our outside world. Of course, we'll have our puzzle table, you'll have a snack table, you'll have the baristas there making your favorite coffee concoctions all day long. Beautiful pool deck, pool area. We'll have our jogging track. You'll move into the sports deck, plenty of lounge chairs, plenty of shaded lounge chairs. And then new for the ship, Serene Spa and Wellness will now, she's down on deck 4 and completely enclosed. So it's this really curving forms, right? Luminous surfaces, rich woods and details, very tranquil, very quiet. Again, you can see the stars reflected in the ceiling of the reception relaxation area. A hydrotherapy pool, you'll still have the sauna, the steam, other programmatic areas that will happen as we talk more about Serene Spa and Wellness and new treatments coming up. This is beautiful. This is brand new. Solaris, all of our ships have a sports deck, but this rendering, I think, is beautifully sort of elegant and elevated in terms of how we approach our Solaris sports deck. Excited about the activities that we can share up here, the opportunities for wellness that will exist and come into play, and also some shaded airspace. Dining. Compass Rose, very different from what you've seen on our Explorer class ships, but it's really, Compass Rose is our largest specialty dining venue, and also we like to call it the heart of our ship. And these renderings just show just how beautiful the entrance foyer is going to be, inspired by this notion of the heavenly constellations that have guided travelers for centuries, and hence the name Compass Rose. You've got Chartreuse, which is our signature French restaurant, still with her beautiful lobby bar, elegant, very refined. It will have a slightly tweaked menu, which is more to talk about in the coming months. Prime 7, our classic steakhouse at sea, where this is obviously where tradition meets design, and this is kind of a deep nod to Chicago's rich history of steakhouses and that sort of warm, dramatic surroundings that you expect from a great steakhouse. And then Pacific Rim, which is in a different location now. It will be up on a higher deck because we have more space, and I'll introduce our next dining venue. So while we'll miss maybe her big art installation at the entrance that you find on the Explorer ships, the dragon and the prayer wheel and the cherry blossom tree, this is a much more interesting use of the space. You've got beautiful windows all across. Every seat is a good seat, basically. Seating all the way down across the window so you can look at the view at night. The menu obviously will be as exciting as what guests are used to. This is a glimpse at the pool grill, the kind of beachy, really relaxing feel. I love the look. I love the look of this. I think people would sit and hide in the shade for hours. We've got La Veranda. And I'm sorry, I'm going fast because there's so much to show you and there's so much to talk about. La Veranda, which beautiful palettes. This is where we have, breakfast and lunch buffets during the day. And I hesitate to say buffet because it's make to order as you wish. What's really exciting about La Veranda, obviously she turns into our Italian restaurant, Sette Mare at night, but this is the outdoor dining space at La Veranda, fully enclosed because of the location she is. You have the sports deck right above. So you've got a fully enclosed ceiling. So you get this beautiful alfresco dining concept, but without the wind. I think that there's going to be a much more, obviously we'll have heat lamps if it's chilly. This is going to be a much more refined alfresco dining experience in the evenings. I anticipate it'll be very popular because Sette Mare is already incredibly popular. And excited to introduce a new restaurant, which for us, we had the space with Prestige to add a new dining concept. And we asked a lot of our guests, we asked a lot of our travel partners, what should we add? What do you think that people would like? And the answer was resoundingly Mediterranean. So you can see that reflected in the design of the entry foyer here. And I can tell you that the menu, I was fortunate enough to go to a tasting with our chefs. The menu is fantastic. The idea is small plates and sharing plates, new flavors, things that you would maybe be hesitant to try, the guests would be hesitant to try. And it's not just focused on one region in the Mediterranean. It's really bringing a combination of flavors similar to how we approach the menus at Pacific Rim. So we're very excited to talk more about Azor, and I think it's going to be incredibly popular. Sweets. Oh my goodness, there's too much to tell you. We're going to start at the top, the new Skyview Regent Suite. This is the continuation of the most exclusive address at sea. It is the largest, most inclusive suite at sea, sitting at just under 9,000 square foot. It comes with private dining, as you expected in the study. It has a private gym. It has, you can see the bar. You still have your dining area. You have a beautiful solarium. This is the master bedroom on the second floor. Again, views all day long. You've got 2 stories of balconies. You have on the side, the second image you have here is the master bathroom, soaking tub, sauna. You have your suite amenities. I love this because it gives you an overview of just how massive the balconies are. And this is at the bow of the ship. Private car in every driver. The Skyview Regent Suite is really a next level suite at sea. I can't wait to see this come to life. And it does include an in-suite elevator, so nobody has to worry about climbing stairs up and down. I'm sorry, I went the wrong way. On deck 14 as well, we've got 6 of our Skyview signature suites. These are new. So signature suites are not new for our fleet, but these Skyview signature suites are new. These are 1 bedroom. Obviously, you have a dining room, full living room, bathrooms. They range in size, and there's 3 different. We've got Skyview Aura, Skyview Luna, and Skyview Sola. They have different layouts and square footages. All will have soaking tubs, but what's beautiful is their balconies. So again, in-suite elevators up to your own private terrace. This is the best way to take advantage of sailing on the ocean. You've got all of the amenities of the ship that we offer, your dining options, your butler service, and then you have this private oasis at sea, shaded fan, a jetted tub. You can have dinner up here. You could have a cocktail party up here. this is really the this whole deck 14 and 15, I think when we got together and started talking about prestige and he said, what could we do with a ship? And we chatted about, well, wouldn't it be nice to use the top deck in some way that guests could appreciate? Only if we can have elevators was the caveat. And the amazing design team, the new build team, was able to pull this off. So these are stunning. This is another view of the inside of a signature suite, which again, a 2,000 square foot, full bedroom, bathroom. One of the other new suite categories we have are our grand loft suites. Floor to ceiling windows, I know not new for the cruise industry necessarily, but very new for us and very exciting. Again, this theme that I keep coming back to is the idea of the natural light capturing the views of the ocean, because that's really why we're at sea, correct? Beautiful dining room, amenities galore. I know the teams can fill you in more on the amenities and what's included as you go through in more detail. But I want to quickly try to get through a few of the other suite categories before I leave you for today. We have the grand suite. Beautiful, elegant, private bedroom, full walk-in closet, full dining room, really exceptional furniture. I can tell you the team spends a lot of time looking at the furniture, handcrafted in Italy, finding the right design layouts. This is like an architectural digest apartment, if you ask my opinion. A terrace with jacuzzi, and these are usually midship, which gives you great views and great balcony sizes. It's the Prestige Suite, beautiful bedroom, gorgeous bathroom, full tub, full shower. We have new amenities coming in the bathroom suites. A Seven Seas Suite. Again, you're starting to see a theme in this neutral color palettes, beautifully designed furnishings. The suite just kind of flows effortlessly in this floor layout from your entrance to your bar space to the living room, dining room, into the bedroom. Another new suite category for us are these Horizon Penthouse Suites. What's really great about this is these will be mostly on deck 6 midship. They have these penthouse suites come complete with outdoor dining and a shaded covered area as well. So it's a new layout for us. It really expands upon that idea of if you don't want to go to the pool deck and you'd rather lounge in your own space but have some shade as well, these suites are perfect for that. Obviously, a spacious bedroom, you've got the divider wall, you've got a marble and stone bathroom, you've got walk-in closet. As another view of the standard penthouse suite. The design of the new Horizon Penthouse Suites is very similar, the difference being the extended balconies that happen. You've got a little dining area. This is the lovely, always, again, one of my favorites, the concierge suite. I love that the bed faces the balconies, the living space here. They've really maximized the amount of space that you have to move around and maneuver. The bathrooms are great. I love that you have double vanities in the bathroom, because if you're traveling with someone else, having that counter space is really important. And the Serenity Suite, again, similar in layout to the concierge, a few differences in the amenities that you can read more about, but having the bed facing the view every morning and ordering that in-suite breakfast every day before you head out to port, I think is a really nice touch, something I don't often take advantage of, but I hope our guests do. And then we end with our deluxe veranda suite. This is our, I hate to say basic entry-level suite because it's 440 square foot. It's phenomenal. 314 interior and then 125 roughly on your balcony. Thoughtfully designed. We maximize the space count, beautiful details. Again, the bathrooms are stunning. Every suite comes with that bottle of welcome champagne when you walk on board, because we are really happy to have our guests and customers. And with that, sorry if I spoke really quickly. I was trying to make sure to leave enough time for my colleague Jared. I'll welcome him back to walk you through our new Voyage Collection debut. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Janice. That was great. Really appreciate the additional insights of Mariner and Voyager, of course, and then Seven Seas Prestige, which, I mean, again, we can't wait to receive her. And she's going to just be, setting the bar again, next level in the ultra luxury cruise segment. So couldn't be more thrilled. Well, Speaking of which, this is what we're all here for, the big show, to see the new Voyage collection debut, get that first sneak peek into where your favorite ship is going in the next new season launch. So as you can see here, we're deploying our sailings from April of 2028 through May of 2029. We know, many of you have multiple vacations that you like to plan and continue to plan further out. We're continuing to see that here at Regent Seven Seas for our customers looking to plan vacations further out and multiple vacations, right? So without further ado, let's jump in and just see what's new within this new season launch here. As you can see here, got a nice little picture here of the Voyager from the refurbished Voyager, right? And she's sitting there in Capri, Italy. But what we're looking at here is, some new moving and shaking, where the ships are going. And that's the beautiful thing, as we expand our fleet. Some of your favorite ships get to go to different various destinations where maybe they had just been sitting there, season over season. So getting able to move our assets around to wonderful destinations and change it up. So it's a little bit different. But Seven Seas Prestige will have her debut season in Canada, New England in September of 2028. We're really, really excited about the expanded destination immersion with over 80 overnight stays. You all ask us for this and how we can spend more time in port to really fully immerse ourselves. We hear you. We've added it. We'll kind of touch a little bit more on those particular overnight ports and where you can expect to see those at. Seven Seas Voyager in the Med during the quieter months of late October through February. It's going to be a totally different experience. It's unique in that we've never called during that time in that region for Seven Seas Voyager. So again, another exciting opportunity to see in a different area of the world at a different time on a different vessel than what we have. 3 new ports of call in Med in Northern Europe as well. And then fresh from the 28 World Cruise, Seven Seas Splendor is going to sail in Alaska for her very first time. Super excited about this. For those of you that recall, Seven Seas Explorer has been there for probably 4 or 5 years, I believe now, since she came out. Prior to that, it was Seven Seas Mariner. Prior to that was Seven Seas Navigator. So again, this will be our 4th ship of our 7 doing that a different region in that destination. So very, very excited about where she's going to call. As we look at it in a nutshell, just the overall highlights, I will highlight that pre-registration is going to begin next week on May 20th. So as you see these itineraries and you're looking at the itineraries, you will be able to work with your travel planner to really get yourself on this pre-registration list. So when they do open for sale on May 27th, we kind of have an idea of what you want to be booked on. We can secure all the savings and the offers and everything that we have going. And speaking of offers, what we're offering here for this debut collection for the first 2 weeks of her launch, we're going to offer reduced deposit. So 50% reduced deposit on the new season launch sailing. So another added reason to book with your Pavlus Travel consultants and book early for these new collection highlights. But again, just overall 194 new itineraries. We have launched 3 grand voyages just recently, a couple weeks ago, 9 holiday cruises, really popular, getting the families together, even if it's multi-gen or just getting away from those that you don't like to spend the holidays with. I know it's different strokes for different folks out there, but certainly have choice is the big thing. Our World Cruise with 14 in-port overnights and Seven Seas Mariner will actually begin taking over the World Cruise for 2029, which we launched last month in early April and had tremendous feedback. Bookings actually surpassed what the Splendor did the year prior on the initial launch. So really excited. Seven Seas Mariner had been the long ship for the World Cruise. We took a couple years that we were putting her on Splendor, but now she'll be back on Seven Seas Mariner after her refurbishment. So we're really excited about that. But first, let's talk about destinations and where that compass is going to point you. When we look at by region, right? So Africa and Arabia, We have 4 new voyages there on Seven Seas Explorer with 3 overnights. These voyages are going to range anywhere from 14 to 23 nights, including the Cape Town round trip sailing. So if your compass points you there, you haven't been there, you're going there, Seven Seas Explorer is the ship that's going to take you there. Here's just kind of a sample, and you'll see this throughout the presentation. I'd like to talk about the destination specifically and just kind of overview the highlights and then give a sample itinerary just to kind of give you an idea and a sense of the ports of call that you will see along the way for the respective voyage. And then, of course, it's up to you to work with your travel planner at Pavlus Travel to put you on that right voyage and that right suite location. Alaska. 16 voyages, as I mentioned, Seven Seas Splendor, excited to have her coming in. We'll start that season in mid to end of May there and go through early September. And just like all of our past Alaska season sailings, right? They're all 7 nights. They're typically Wednesday to Wednesday to avoid the larger ships in port to allow us to have a more immersive, intimate experience shoreside and also not overcrowding of these ports. Alaska, as you can imagine, has continued to be a popular destination year over year. Capacity continues to increase and so forth. So that's hence the reason for our Wednesday to Wednesday. Approximately 50 included shore excursions on there for that particular destination. We talked about the standard inclusive excursions and then the Regent Choice. So there's more, of course, to offer through those Regent Choice. Just a quick look and sample of our northbound, southbound itineraries. This particular one is the northbound run from Vancouver to Whittier. I do prefer personally the southbound itinerary. The airlift's just a little bit better. And again, you can have those conversations with your travel planner to determine what is best for you on the destination that you're looking for in the sailing, respectively, as it relates to Alaska. Asia, probably one of our hottest destinations and really a big focus for us. Seven Seas Splendor gets the call there with 1 holiday cruise. We added, and we hear it again, Japan, right? So 6 round trip Tokyo voyages really gives you that full Japan experience. So those voyages range anywhere from 8 to 19 nights, and it will be in the fall through winter into spring time frame in 2028, 2029, respectively. Looking at the itinerary, this particular itinerary is the Bangkok to Hong Kong, 11 nights. But you can see the wonderful destinations that we do here. It's the Festivals of Light itinerary. Really, really excited to begin and end your journey in 2 of Asia's most dynamic capitals. Overnight in Bangkok invites, for that additional exploration that you have there as well. So again, another popular itinerary. Australia, New Zealand, 6 new voyages here. They're ranging anywhere from 10 to 21 nights and 2 voyages actually featuring cruising the fjords of Doubtful, Dusky, and Milford Sound. So really, really exciting opportunity there on Seven Seas Explorer and Seven Seas Mariner. The actual itinerary that is probably the most popular, right, is that Auckland to Sydney itinerary. Again, giving you all the wonderful highlights of that region, specifically hitting all those New Zealand and Australian ports. So 14 nights on this particular example. Canada, New England, if you're looking to stay a little bit closer to home, and some of you are, whether it's just, that's how you travel now. You don't travel afar. So we have a lot of these wonderful domestic North American itineraries and destinations. And Seven Seas Prestige, as I mentioned earlier, brand new ship in that region. So if you haven't seen the fall foliage, I certainly encourage you to do so on the most beautiful ship in that region. So she'll have those debut sailings there. These are all about 11-night sailing. Most voyages are Montreal to Boston. There's one voyage that's Montreal to New York, just to be mindful of. But looking at the sample itinerary specific to the Montreal to New York, these are the ports of call that you can expect on this particular itinerary of the golden foliage. So really really nice immersive itinerary, right? When you talk about Quebec City and everything that Montreal has to bring, it's just a really nice itinerary where you can go and stroll down the cobbled streets of the Old Town there in Montreal. The Caribbean. So Caribbean, 28 new voyages for the Caribbean and Panama Canal. I have to say, Panama Canal, if you haven't done it, it's absolutely incredible. We continue to add more and more of those itineraries as well. But you can see here just in the highlights, 16 round trip Miami, 3 round trip Bridgetown that we've added, a round trip Houston, which is new, and 1 round trip LA. So shaking it up, different ports of call, different ships in different regions, different time, different lengths of cruises. This particular cruises range anywhere from 7 to 16. Ultimately, at the end of the day, luxury is choice, right? So we want to be able to provide choice for you when making that decision on which itinerary is best for you, and at the time that it's best for you. Because at the end of the day, itinerary does drive a lot of the decision on whether it's whichever cruise line it is. And we put a lot of effort going into our itinerary planning. There's a team that works dedicated to this. We take the feedback, as I mentioned, from our travel partners, from our past guests, and really showcase that to bring that home. So looking at the round trip Miami on Seven Seas Grandeur, the holidays on the canal, again, another wonderful time to spend over the holiday season on board the ship, to be able to do these wonderful things in these areas. So I'm looking forward to doing a holiday sailing myself with my family in 2027. Mediterranean, by far the most popular, as you can see, with the amount of ships that we have over in that region over that time. We have 63 new voyages just within this particular voyage collection. The seasonal range anywhere from April to March. Most of them are 7 to 21 nights. A lot of different variations. Always can couple them with back-to-backs, or what we refer to as letter cruises. New ports of call, 2 over the holidays. And again, that quiet med season that we had talked about, which is unique with Seven Seas Voyager, that she'll do beginning in November of 2028. A quick sampling of that itinerary. The itinerary in the Med, right? Barcelona to Lisbon, extremely popular. You can see those ports of call. This is the Epicurean Expedition itinerary. Taste the essence of Spain on this particular 9-night Epicurean expedition through the country's most celebrated culinary capitals. So really excited for that one. Northern Europe continuing to be a top choice for many. Looking forward to doing a Northern Europe itinerary this year, actually. So I can definitely relate to this. 33 new voyages. The season will start in April 29th of 2028 through May of 2029. And those range anywhere from 9 to 14 nights. We actually took some of those back. We pretty much kind of did 10 to 14, even up to 18 nights. So kicking it back to that 8-9 range seems to be a sweet spot also that we're hearing from our customers as well. So really excited to get back into Northern Europe. The round trip Reykjavik, which is exactly the sailing that I'm doing this year on Seven Seas Grandeur. It will be calling in the new voyage collection on Seven Seas Prestige. So might have to go back again. So much to see, so much to do within that region, of course. And then obviously the ship being also part of the destination, with Seven Seas Prestige being there. South America, 3 new voyages that we'll have there. Seven Seas Mariner is going to call on South America. And those voyages, again, shortened 8 to 25 nights. So you have choice. So if you can't do the big, long, typical 14 to 18 night run, we have them from 8 to 25 nights, or you can couple a couple of them together to make it a longer voyage. So Amazon River voyage and then the Antarctica Peninsula voyage there respectively. This Miami to BA one is that longer itinerary that I was speaking of, 25 nights on this particular one, taking off from Miami and heading all the way down and around to Buenos Aires. So extremely popular itinerary for the Regent Seven Seas brand. The South Pacific, again, French Polynesia, it's still on my bucket list. I haven't had the opportunity to go there yet. Heard many great things, and colleagues that have traveled there, of course, and of course, many guests that I speak to when I do travel on board the ships. I get a lot of great, interesting feedback and obviously inspiration for my next family vacations. But we have 4 new voyages there that will debut from 18 to 21 nights, overnights in French Polynesia, and one actually being over the holiday. And Seven Seas Explorer and Seven Seas Mariner will be calling on those particular destinations. So jumping over from South America, right? So going across over from Lima to Papeete is would be an exciting itinerary there. So you can at least see, feel like a little bit of additional sea days and longer kind of voyage to really be able to experience the ship of Seven Seas Mariner. This is your calling. And then, of course, once you arrive in French Polynesia, you have those encompass all of those wonderful islands within that area. The transoceanic crossings, as I talked about, those sea day type lovers, where you like to just enjoy the ship. There's no better way than to do in one of our transoceanic crossings. We have 4 voyages there, and of course, Seven Seas Prestige and Seven Seas Grandeur, the newest babies in the fleet, will be doing some of those wonderful crossings. And again, it's the ship being the destination at that point. Those crossings range anywhere from 13 to 14 nights, up to 10 days at sea experience for all of our Regent onboard activities with the wonderful cruise directors and social hosts, great programming throughout. Or if you just want to sit in a quiet little area and read a book at our wonderful pool deck, you can certainly do that. Really, whatever it is that you want to do, that you have the ability to do that on these great transoceanic crossings. Looking here, the London to Montreal on Seven Seas Prestige. If we have any Canadian friends out there, obviously looking to book, this is a great itinerary for you. I know flying over just one way to London, coming back, especially if you're on the East Coast there in Canada or French Canadian, this one brings you right back home. So it's a nice itinerary for you to just go directly to London and come back to your backyard. So really exciting. And again, continuing to change up the itineraries that we're offering overall. I touched base earlier on Grand Voyages, and Grand Voyages, you know, these have always been popular for us. When you talk about the length of these Grand Voyages, so this particular one that we see here, we launched 3 of them, as I mentioned earlier in the highlights. But the probably the most popular one currently has been that the Seven Seas Mariner, the 101 nights. It's on May 30th, 450 different included shore excursions. Crazy. The Grand Hemisphere's journey from Athens to Auckland on Seven Seas Explorer. Again, 100 nights. That one is in the fall of 2028. And then the next one that we had launched was the Tokyo to Hong Kong on Seven Seas Splendor. And this one is top currently in terms of bookings. That was just recently launched. It's only been out for a couple weeks. When we do this voyage collection debut, just for those of you who are inquiring minds, is these Grand Voyages will also be segmented and for sale during that voyage collection debut. So if there's portions of these Grand Voyages that you're currently seeing on the website or currently speaking to a travel planner about, know that these are going to be kind of broken up into segments that will be open for sale when we go live on May 27th. So just keep that in mind. When booking these Grand Voyages, similar to a world cruise, you receive the bespoke amenities that are inclusive with this. So you get that one-night pre-cruise hotel package and the welcome reception, shoreside events that we will have hosted, door-to-door luggage service, of course, the valet laundry service is included, phone time, onboard medical consultation, and shipboard credits for the visas in lieu of the visa packages that will be required to be obtained. The World Cruise, as I mentioned, is back on Seven Seas Mariner, 150 nights, Miami to Rome. If you're looking to extend that, you can take the Rome over to New York, I believe it is, an additional, I want to say 15 or 16 nights. I can't recall off the top of my head, but that begins on January 6th of 2029 on Seven Seas Mariner. Here, there's a few new ports of call. We won't go ahead and read through all the charts, but as you can see in 28 and 29, the destination services team really did a great job and put a lot of hard work to secure different shore excursions in these new ports of call. So kudos to them for continuing to reach out and continuing to find new, because oftentimes it gets a little bit difficult. But at the end of the day, we know, especially on a world cruise, and especially those that have done multiple world cruises, you always want to find new ports of call. And again, where to go, where to eat, what to do. It's always a topic of conversation that we're doing and continuing to do. So these are just a few samples of those new ports of call in those regions of the world cruise that we were showcasing. In Croatia, of course, so much. It's just a beautiful place, and being able to explore some of these UNESCO heritage sites and really, what that Mediterranean culture feels like in a lot of these destinations. We want you to really immerse and be within. I touched on the overnights in port. I mean, look at this list, and it is all of the key areas of the world where you want to spend overnights, right? So oftentimes there's times where you're like, why did we stay overnight there? I don't think you can really say that about many of these ports because of what the offerings are. And again, back to our destination services team, really being able to curate a lot of these special events, and also the land programs, overland type programs, and the shore excursion programs that we continue to deliver. And here's just another look at the remainder of the list of these overnights in port within this Voyage Collection debut. So really excited about the Voyage Collection debut. And like I said, I know it's kind of hard to take it all in and absorb it all in one presentation, but hopefully some of these just kind of sparked a little interest for you, which will prompt you to obviously speak with your travel planner at Pavlus Travel to be able to secure one of these dates. Get on that pre-registration list. Again, that was May 20th when the pre-registration goes. The live date for these to be booked in our system is May 27th. So certainly reach out and ensure that you're on that list. Shifting gears a little bit, we're going to go into some of the special offers. But with that, what I want to touch on is anybody looking for close-in travel. So we highlighted our Voyage Collection debut. We've highlighted the refurbishments. We've highlighted Seven Seas Prestige. But let's talk about what's going on right now and where you can find some of the best value, some of the best pricing, and just to try to get away, right? So currently, we have a promotion running, which is going to expire the end of this week on May 15th. It's basically up to 45% savings and a $500 shipboard credit on select sailings. Here's just kind of a quick snapshot of those sampling of those sailings that we have to offer. So again, some of them are even still at the beginning, first quarter of next year. As you can see, the Miami to Rio on the Mariner, January 4th, 2027, up to 35% off with that $500 shipboard credit. Tremendous value, combinable with a lot of the promotions and some of the other promotions that we'll touch on here momentarily. After May 15th, we have it extended until May 31st. However, the one thing that changes is the $500 shipboard credit drops. So if you're looking to travel now in 26 or early 27, certainly look at these spring into savings offers. Do so or hold the booking before the 15th when it expires so you can take advantage of that $500 SBC. The voyages themselves remain the same in terms of the savings and the dates. You just lose the shipboard credit. So just be mindful if you are looking to book this year, contact Pavlus and secure that booking immediately following this sale. So that way you can take advantage of that additional $500 shipboard credit. If you're a solo traveler, we have 0% single supplements out there for you on select voyages. Again, this is becoming more of its own niche market, really, because more and more there's those that, A, you don't want to travel with your significant other, or B, that significant other is no longer with us. And, you had many special moments that you shared on board our ships in past, and you just want to go relive that. So, oftentimes in the cruise industry with singles, right? Like it's a thing. So being able to offer 0% single supplement on select voyages, select categories, even 25%. I mean, it's not 100%. So there are sailings and there are categories that are 100% single supplement, and that is, part of it. But we do have a good probably 60 to 80 dates where there's a reduced single supplement promotion included on it. So just make sure you're asking the right questions if you are a solo traveler. And we do a fantastic job on board the ships with the solo program, right? We have solo meetups. We put it into the passages for the day that tells you where to go. If you're a solo traveler, meet other solos. You can go dine with them and join together. We just do a fantastic job on board mingling those solo travelers, so you never feel alone, and you're always, have that option to be social with other solo guests on board. Pavlus, again, from always doing the best pricing, there's also value right behind that too. And pricing and value kind of go hand in hand, right? But them being affiliated with Travel Leaders Network and a strong affiliate with us as well, they have these options to add additional amenities on top of, the best prices that they have, exclusive offers that they may have. All of this is on top of that and combinable in many cases. So just make sure you ask. Just want to always highlight this, these additional amenities that they can offer you, whether it's shipboard credit amenities or different shore events or, fireside chats. There's always a little something extra for you. And that's the beauty of always working with a travel advisor, because they are affiliated, most of them, with some sort of consortia, and Travel Leaders being one of the largest. We give them the most robust value across the board on many cases on these sailings. So let's crack into the actual cruise sail savings, what we're here for. So this particular offering is one that we do with Pavlus for our new season launches, solely with Pavlus. So we run this for a month long, May 13th to June 13th. We offer up to $2,000 additional savings per suite. We've simplified it. If you've taken advantage of this offer in the past, it's simply based on the length of the cruise and the category. So distinctive suites to concierge suites, and that length, you receive that respective savings amount. And our deluxe suites, which are the superior veranda and windows, if booking navigator, and those lengths respectively receive those values. There are additional savings for those that are looking for that incredible Regent suite out there. So just be mindful and be aware of that. But if you're watching on board the ship, these savings may look familiar to you, because that is simply the savings that we're offering, right? So the onboard savings value for you booking onboard the ship is the same here. There's not a double dip type scenario. So if you are on board, I would encourage you to just simply speak with the onboard cruise consultant, book there. Your Pavlus Travel agent of record will receive credit for that booking. The additional amenities that may be available, they'll tie that on with it as well. If there's any of those Travel Leaders shipboard credits or any other little fun shipboard credits that we throw on there together, we can certainly work in partnership and collaboration to get that taken care of. The other thing I will point out is the savings may not be reflected immediately. The travel planners will do their best to get the savings applied. It's more on the Regent side. When we add these savings, it's on a promotional code basis, which they know how to ask for that particular code. All you need to mention is that you want to take advantage of the cruise sales savings for the Pavlus Travel consumer event, and they can get you lined up for that. And I guess without that, without anything further, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Michael, And again, I can't thank you enough for your partnership, Michael. Bring you back on here, and again, it's been incredible. And let's have another great event and another great voyage collection launch.
Well, we made it. Jared, thank you for that. Janice, thank you for your time and for taking us through all the latest updates, not just on Prestige, but the entire fleet. Some really incredible photos there. And Jared, those are some great looking itineraries for 28 and for 29. I don't want to take up too much time because we've got a couple of questions to answer. And I know we are already a little over time now, so thank you for sticking with us. I want to just touch briefly on why you should book your Regent cruise with Pavlus. And Jared just took us through the webinar special and the current offers in the marketplace. Those are all fantastic, and we certainly are going to add additional value when you book your Regent cruise with Pavlus. But we believe also firmly in the overall experience. Not only are you going to get the best price when you travel with Pavlus Travel, but you're also going to get a high level of excellent personal service. And that relationship starts with your personal travel planner. They are your go-to contact when you're ready to make a booking, talk about options, and they'll provide recommendations. They'll bring in their past experience, not only traveling, but also booking to make sure that you're getting great suite assignments, and getting access to all of the best deals in the marketplace. They are assisted by two very important departments at Pavlus Travel, our guest relations team and our air concierge team. Our guest relations team is here to make sure that you're updated and all of your questions are answered from the moment that you book until you travel, and even beyond that. Our guest relations team is making sure that all of the advisements we receive about your cruise are passed on quickly, that any questions that you send in, whether you send those to your personal travel planner or directly to our guest relations team, and they step in to assist, that those are answered quickly and efficiently. And our air team, on a similar vein, is here to assist whether you're booking your flights through Regent and their concierge program, or if you want to explore your options and take a look at some of the contracted rates that Pavlus has, we will help you regardless. And certainly from the moment you book your air until you travel, things change. There's schedule changes, aircraft changes, seat changes, and our air team is here to make that as seamless and simple as possible. So again, just to recap, not only is the conversation about getting the best price and the best value on your Regent cruise, which we're going to easily do, but we've also got the service to back it up. And if you haven't worked with Pavlus before, give us a call, 800-528-9300. We'll get you in touch with a personal travel planner, and you can experience the difference of traveling with Pavlus, plus all the savings that come along with it. So without any further delay, I want to bring back on Jared and Janet. There are a couple of questions that they wanted to highlight. So we'll get that done to conclude the webinar. And otherwise, many of your questions have already been answered throughout the webinar by the support team at Regent. So thank you very much for being here to do that for us. And so again, a pleasure to have you. Thank you for your time. Jared, Janet, take it back.
Jared, thank you so much. Jared and Janice. And Jared, we know that Janice had to jump off, so thank you for staying on for our questions with our guests. But you provided so much detail. Your 23 years at Regent really resonated in just going over all of these new itineraries, which we have so many, new guests, but our past guests that were joining us today. So thank you so much. So we do have a few questions. And again, for those that we don't get to today, we'll have your Pavlus Travel Planner reach out to you. Air opportunities with Regent. We have a couple of questions saying, is air included? I know a lot is cruise only, but if you could maybe elaborate, that would help our guests today.
Yeah, absolutely. It's air is one of those big things, and you all do such a great job at Pavlus, having your air team that is there for it. And we, previously, for those that have, sailed with us in past, we had it as an included amenity for many years, and we had kind of pulled it away, and it was simply cruise only, and it was, projected pricing. And now we've just recently launched our air concierge, and it's become a major hit. So, you can the guest can, or the Pavlus Travel Advisor can contact the air concierge to make these special arrangements. You can tell us that you want to go from this place to this place. You want to go in a couple of days early, and basically give full customization to that air schedule. There's a nominal fee associated, which the Pavlus Travel travel planner will certainly tell you about. And again, have it customized, give you real-time pricing, and be able to block it right then and there. So it's really exciting that we're able to offer this new concierge service.
Yeah, I was on a training for that air concierge. It's a great program, and Pavlos can really help our guests with their business class air as well, with
Yeah.
all different types of
All
different
classes.
categories. Yep, thank you. And so thank you for talking about the new ports of call and what to do. And it brought up a few questions about pre-booking shore excursions.
Mhm.
So can guests pre-book their shore excursions? This is for new, and I know for our past or our repeat guests as well.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And those, that's the beauty of it, right? Like, so you can pre-book your shore excursions. Booking in concierge level and above will give you access to book shore excursions earlier. And then it's 240 days and then 210 days for those that are below concierge. So I would encourage you, especially in some of these destinations where there's smaller ports, where we're going to have, a little bit harder time securing some of the infrastructure there, or buses and things like that. So it's always best to upgrade at that point to have early access to secure those tours in some of those smaller boutique niche type ports.
Great, thank you. And then there's no fee for specialty dining, which is great. Can they book those ahead of time as well? I think you mentioned it, but if you could maybe
Yeah,
go over it again.
absolutely. No, it's again another one of the part of the booking journey, right? So being booked in concierge or above on that, again, you get earlier access to book those dining reservations. And we have, as I mentioned, up to 4 specialty restaurants. I always have to correct myself, because now when Prestige comes on, she will have 4 specialty restaurants on her. So up to 4 specialty restaurants where you can make one reservation in advance in each venue ahead of time on the cruise. And then, of course, the duration of the cruise while on board, you can also secure additional nights in your favorite venue. We just only allow one in advance to really allow our guests all to kind of have an opportunity to reserve in one of those specialty restaurants.
Great, thank you. And then we've answered most of the questions, but again, for those that we didn't get to, we'll have the Pavlus Travel Planner reach out to them. Just the pre-registration, they can reach out to their Pavlus Travel Planner with their requested itinerary and departure date. And then when it's ready and open for sale, we have it ready for our guests. We did have a question about, will I receive a copy of this presentation? The answer is yes. We'll send you a copy of the presentation. We'll highlight the event special, also the promos that Gerald mentioned, and then the terms and conditions. And then your Pavlus Travel Planner can help you with, with all of those details. But Jared and Janice, thank you so much for making today work. I mean, you've done a great job. We like to give a sneak peek to our guests, and I just want to close. I'm going to turn this over to you to close, but just say a huge and special thank you from Pavlus Travel and to our guests for joining today. Jared, over to you.
Wonderful. Thank you, Jen. Really appreciate it. And it's been a pleasure having my colleague Janice along with me, and being able to share and showcase everything exciting about Regent Seven Seas. And again, we couldn't be here without you, our travel partners, of course, and also our loyal past guests, and hopefully soon to be new guests to welcome to the family. So I encourage you to take a look at that Voyage Collection debut, select your new the next itinerary, and become part of the Regent family. Thank you. Look forward to seeing you soon.